Friends, countrymen, Romans, lend me your ears. I am occasionally known as Arthur Perkins. This show can from time to time be indicated to be Apgamingreal. I'm back with On the Tabletop. This is episode like 6 or something.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like yes, it's definitely episode 6. No one could contest that. Last week, several members of this cast wandered into my Wednesday show in the chat. The Wednesday cast was like, well, we've been going longer. We're your favorite D&D group, right? And I was like,
Nah.
actually, I like my other kids better. They were very upset.
They were.
Yeah.
They were very upset.
But we still love them.
We have that innocent naivety.
Just not as much.
You know, more attractive.
Just consider them like your older brothers or something. You're really, really bad at D&D, older brothers.
Worse than us?
I mean, look, you guys are just bad at rolling. They're bad at staying alive. They've already died like 8 or 9 times in their campaign.
Oh, shit.
Of course, the point of the campaign is that they come back to life every time that they die at the beginning of the campaign again, with all of their knowledge and experience.
Oh, like time stories?
Yes, it's called New Game Plus because it's a New Game Plus every time.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
The only thing they don't bring back is their equipment unless they've attuned it to themselves magically. So that's a mechanic we haven't encountered yet. No one has any magically attuned stuff, but you can like call it back to you. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
How late are you? You're not very late at all. We're only like less than 2 minutes into the introduction, so you know we'll probably be introductioning for like another hour or 2
At least
before we get started. Call back to one of my shows, Okeanos, where we actually did have hour-long intros, and people would show up just for the introduction, and then the viewer count would go in half once we started playing. They just showed up for our talk about Marvel and Disney. That's all they wanted.
Get that pop culture.
So look, I could talk about myself all day, but I will continue to talk about myself, but not all day, just for a few more seconds here. At one point in my life, I was working with like 2 artists a month, and now with these guys and all the other artists I'm working with, it's like 8 artists a week. And so
Crazy.
I gotta keep it fresh here with my descriptions. Now, one of my artists was like, how do you see the world, Arthur? Do you see it in anime style? And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Why does everybody think I imagine everything anime? I imagine shit Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah.
When I'm imagining stuff, unless it's specifically an anime system and I describe it that way, I'm seeing dudes like going around a rock with a greatsword, like and then like riding shields down a staircase.
So is there an anime Lord of the Rings? Is that how you see it? Like as a crossover between the two?
No, there actually are several tabletop role-playing systems that are explicitly anime in style. In visual design of the artwork inside of it, and in the way that they put together their storytelling. But anime Lord of the Rings, I think, would be pretty badass. I mean, the Hobbit cartoon is better than the Hobbit movies, so...
That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
And Record of the Lotus Wars is pretty good.
Oh my god, you know what Record of Lodos Wars is?
Yeah, I was watching that actually yesterday.
Yeah, Record of Lodos Wars is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
Look, the history of Record of Lodos... Look, here's how it goes. Record of Lodos Wars is an anime created by 4 artists and like anime producers who got together and played a game of original AD&D. So everybody's class is their title. Like, one person is an elf, one person is a dwarf, one person's a magic caster. They're not like a dwarf fighter, they're just dwarf, because that's how it was back in the day. All of the mechanics work exactly like a D&D campaign because it is their campaign written down in a actual play journal and then published as a novel. And someone was like, holy shit, this novel's fucking amazing. Let's turn it into an anime.
The early predecessor to Harmon Quest.
Yeah. The early predecessor to Harmon Quest.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Chronicles of the Heroic Knight, which is the Lodos Wars follow-up, it is much better than Lodos Wars.
Yeah, I'm gonna work my way through the first season and then follow up on the subsequent
Good
ones.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Look, in the second season, there's a young knight named Spark who shows up, and I named my favorite gnome after him. His name is Spark Booty Blaster. Yeah, exactly.
Booty Blaster?
Booty Blaster, yeah.
Booty Blaster. I like
Booty
it.
Blaster.
A classic RPG name, you know.
Well, you know, he is a gnomish bard who invented the stylistic flows of rap for the Pathfinder universe. He did some spoken word rap volumes. He's like the Mortrick of Pathfinder. Speaking of the Mortrick of Pathfinder, let's talk to the Mortrick of the real world, Mccomicker.
Hi, I'm Mccomicker, otherwise known as Mortrick. I'm on the socials and probably most importantly the Twitch as Mccomicker, McComicker. And you know, as annoying as everyone else in the group is, I, as a character, just try to provide, you know, a calm, collected, level head to help us get through the difficult parts of the game.
Can you indicate to me one calm, collected, and level-head action you've taken?
You've ever done. Just one.
Well, you know, I don't want to take up all the time in the introduction, so why don't I just think about that while we make it around the rest of the table?
Okay, Connor. Can you think of one thing that Mortrick has ever done that's both calm and collected?
I mean, he did kill that dog pretty calm and collected.
I don't know that you could call being a sociopath being calm and collected, but
They're very
okay.
calm though, right? Like, you know, they don't have any emotions. They just sort of do.
Well, we didn't get to see his bath scene from last night. That could have been calm and collected, but for all we know, some shit happened in there too.
You guys got no idea. No idea.
Fortunately, we also don't zoom in on when people go to the toilet in D&D or,
I'm
you know,
just saying
take
it was a bath.
baths or change their clothes. So
You wanted to make this
But
show
we did have a bath.
anime version. There needs to be a bath scene.
there needs to be a beach episode.
Or that.
And I have had several of those. So
Kind of the swimsuit edition of D&D.
That's
I don't think we can have a beach scene with your geese around.
look, one day either Mortrick will be dead, or you'll have finally gotten over the Geos, and then you can have the beach. I mean, look, the town of Havens that you're supposed to go to, sorry, the city of Havens, is a port town. There could be some wonderful black sand beaches there. Connor, when you're not helping me think up ways that Mortrick is terrible, what are you doing?
I frequently try and stream on Twitch TV/conorhughes and making my comic there, White Ash. It's a comic we did on Kickstarter. Started on Kickstarter. We're on the 4th issue or past that now, and I'm working on a little side story for that that's unannounced. So, yeah, tune in for that.
I have tuned in for that. Over like the past few days, I've tuned in a couple times.
Yeah, I saw you. Thank you for the host.
I tried to tune into Mick today, and when I went to click on his name, it was like hosting Connor Hughes, and I was like, what the shit, Mick? You can't do this to me literally the second I log on.
He just signed off, I guess. That often happens with Mick, I know. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I try to wait until I know people are going to show up, and then I quit for the day.
Yeah. It's the best time. That way you keep a premium on your product, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bearded, well, how are you doing today?
Doing all right. Finally got my computer all put together. I just have to fiddle around with the settings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm not doing that, I'm doing drawing, traditional stuff, comic books, all that goodness on the Twitch. And people can find me at Bearded Jalapeno or Jalapeno on all the social medias. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Facebook anymore. Nobody really uses Facebook anymore.
Man, I tried to quit Facebook, and then I got talked into not quitting Facebook.
All my
grandmother
family's on
uses
there, so it's
Facebook.
not like it can be like, see ya.
Yeah.
But I don't use that that platform.
Look, Facebook is for old people now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the
it
MySpace.
It's for your old racist aunts and uncles.
I thought that's what Twitter was for.
Yeah,
Twitter,
that's
look,
Twitch.
Twitter is for everybody, especially if you're racist.
Over to you, PlanetKhaos.
All right, so hi guys, I'm PlanetKhaos. what do you know? I'm on Twitch too. So yeah. So and I draw D&D characters and monsters there, commissions if you ask for them, but mostly I'm drawing some open game content monsters. And I'll be doing that for a little while until I change directions coming up the next few weeks.
And you're providing the art tonight, are you not?
Thank you, Mick. I am providing the art tonight, so hopefully I can keep up. But I'm only going to draw, instead of drawing 4 characters, I'm focusing on Mortrick tonight, so hopefully I can do him justice.
Doing him justice would involve him in chains, but okay.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
How many chains can you draw in one night?
Well, you know, you just got to figure out how many chains the local sheriff is allowed to put on a person while they wait in jail for judgment.
All
Go
of
from
them.
there. I don't know that there are all of the chains.
And Mick. Oops.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
What?
Mick's turn.
No, I
No,
started.
he started.
Nick already
That
went.
was the first one.
Well, where was I? Okay.
I was gonna say there actually is a terrifying devil creature called a chitin that can summon an infinite void of chains around itself.
I could use one of those right
Oh,
now.
is that an anime thing? Mayhaps that's why everyone thinks you're an anime guy?
No, that's a D&D
The
monster.
D&D thing.
I don't know.
Boy, you really got me there, Vic.
Wow, Vic.
Ding!
Putting him out there.
Nailed him.
God.
I better not tell him about
devastated
Nalfeshnies. Anything else we want to cover before we get started here? Maybe Mick could try to pin some otaku bullshit on me. Accuse me of being anime.
I don't know what that is.
I did watch your Love is War, and that was pretty funny.
First off, it's not my Love is War, but it is pretty funny.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
I'm telling you, like, okay, so look, here's the deal. The company that makes it, A1, has made some terrible anime in the last few seasons, and they needed to make up to the community for the fact that they'd fucked up repeatedly. And so they put huge amounts of work into Love is War, which was already pretty fucking hilarious in manga form. They did it. I feel like they did it. They did some good work. Several of those voice actors, this is their first role, so they're out there killing it.
Yeah, the voice acting is very good. In Japanese, I mean.
As
I
a
don't know if there's a dub. Like offhand.
There isn't a dub yet.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be a dub. The French, the whole French episode, fantastic, and in Japanese. I don't speak French, but I knew that French sounded extremely hostile.
Doesn't all French sound extremely
Really?
hostile?
You think French sounds hostile? Have you ever heard German before? Like ever?
Yeah, German.
I mean, when they're speaking to Americans, probably.
I don't know. We must have had very different experiences talking to French people. Do you like have a natural trait that you just upset French people by being near them? I don't know.
We can find out on tonight's episode.
I guess we will. I've actually been declared an honorary Canadian now.
Nice.
I'm a polite enough American that I could pass.
Oh
for
yeah,
being
wasn't that
Canadian.
last episode?
I know. And
Yeah.
that drummer boy, aka Andrew, is like my third favorite Canadian. So. Oh boy. So, as a reminder of all of the crazy hijinks you got into last time, the party entered into aggressive negotiations with 3 former mercenaries turned bandits pretending to still be mercenaries, blocking the exit from town. The aggressive negotiations ended when the party got fed up with their shit and decided that aggression and attacking were basically the same thing, and started murdering the shit out of the enemy party. Taking one member hostage while dismembering and murdering his friends, they threatened him into joining the team. I mean, that's it. I feel like that's exactly what happened. Yeah, you
that's
threatened him and
exactly
he
what
joined the
happened.
team temporarily.
You pretty nailed it. You
I
nailed
don't
it.
think we can top that.
Yeah. That's the height of our episodes right there.
Traveling with him and your new bandmate, Hal, you passed through a forest where a wizard's apprentice informed you that there was a creature loose. The wizard's apprentice was worried that you were all covered in blood and that Mick was talking to him. You wandered off, and later you ran into a skeletal minotaur, which Kazador proceeded to just disembowel. And it proceeded to roll a bunch of natural ones on its attacks and break its own weapon. Speaking of disemboweled, Mortrick was hit with a gore attack in the first round and was thrown off the end of the wagon while the rest of the team proceeded to guard his slowly dying body.
You can't top this.
That was such a nice visual, too.
The party arrived in town of Pyre's Water, where they learned of the local political situation and the deep divides between its residents. They have been entered into a verbal contract, which may or may not be binding, with the local mob boss. His name is Father Timur Anacona, and he has a problem. His son Greco Anacona is dating the daughter of his arch rival, the head of the Heroes/Adventurers Guild, Leah Padua. Some of you went over to the Adventurers Guild to find these heroes and ran into Eris Padua, Leah's mother, turned in the monstrous Minotaur skeleton quest for some extra spending change and some fresh sets of clothing. You also met Sir Harris Napoli, who is known as the Shadow Knight, an extremely edgy ninja who looked completely out of genre. You interrogated him. The rest of the party, namely Runa and Rik-Jaxx, are waiting in an alleyway with no knowledge of what's happening. There's been zero communication.
We're rolling dice.
So when we pick up, Runa and Rik-Jaxx are still waiting at a blind alleyway where they believe the target will be coming. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kazador is still following the target, Greco, and Mortrick has gone ahead to inform the rest of the party that they're coming. Is this correct?
Yes.
Or was it the other way around?
I think it was the other way.
Other way around.
No, it was the other
So
way around.
Mortrick is the one who failed his perception check. So Mortrick doesn't know what's happening around him. As Kazador is moving ahead in the darkness of the night, he noticed that 7 individuals were beginning to close in around Greco. They look kind of shady and tough, with exposed arms and like leather jackets and big knives openly worn. Mortrick is completely oblivious and is following closely behind Greco. Kazador, you're in a weird spot. You could turn around and come back to Mortrick, but doing so would be blatantly obvious that you've seen these people and that you know that they're about to do something. Or you could keep going ahead and inform Runa and Rik-Jaxx of what's going on, because they've been sitting in the cold darkness of a port sewer alleyway for like an hour.
How close are we to the edge of the Noble District? Like right now we're in the Noble District, right?
You are at you have just finished crossing the bridge from, I wouldn't call it the Noble District. I would call it the artisanal district. The taxpayer side of town. The adventuring haven. You've crossed the bridge over to Lowtown.
I will stop up on the other side of the bridge and sort of pretend and loiter a little bit.
Okay.
And see what they're gonna do and try and like avoid Greco noticing me.
Okay, so you wanna fly casual.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Do I notice him as we approach the bridge?
Almost certainly. And we're gonna find out whether you do or not using the magic of a stealth check. And what's great about stealth checks is that as long as he's in full plate, Kazador has disadvantage on.
Well, I'm not stealthing. I'm just kind of sauntering. Like I'm not. Okay.
Your explicit objective here is to avoid notice. A 7. A
gentleman's 7.
All right. So here's what's happening, Mortrick. You have no idea what's going on. But your passive is good enough to notice Kazador suddenly like leaning up against a stone plinth, whistling, looking around, explicitly not looking in your direction, but constantly at like 45-degree angles to you. He is the least savvy, cool guy you've ever seen.
In full plate.
Yeah. There's a lot of noise every time he moves too. There's like.
And I'm behind the target.
You are behind the target.
I'm behind the target, coming up to the bridge. Mortrick.
As you get funneled onto the bridge, you start hearing the sounds of footsteps behind you, like a lot of footsteps. People walking with a casual gait, but there's also like jangling noises. You're hearing a lot of metal on metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna turn to look behind me, see what I see.
So when you turn to look behind you, there are 7 men approaching. They definitely look like they belong in Lowtown. Several of them have tattoos. Most of them seem kind of sweaty. All of them have a grim face on, and one of them is like reaching out towards you, and he's like, "Signore, apologies. Do you have the time?"
I'm gonna check my non-existent Rich Watch. Look up at the star and the moon.
All right, when you stop to look up at the star and the moon, he wraps his arm around your shoulder. 3 of the men stay with him, and the other 3 keep moving towards Kazador. He says,
Kazador?
Yeah. So they move past Greco, who like nods to them as they go past. He's like, "Oh, Anatoly, good to see you. Hey, Jonathan, where have you been? There's an awful lot of you." He like turns back to see Mortrick, and he's like, "What are you guys doing with him?" This guy is just like, "It's no worry, young lord. We just we need to talk to him for a little while. We're gonna..."
Actually, like I had a question for the.
Yeah, you do have a question for us. He was telling us about the sun and the stars. He's a scholar on the celestial movement. You know me, I love history and science.
I'm a great romantic, and I would hate to see a beautiful couple broken up.
Oh, when you say that, he coughs really loudly. So when you get like halfway through it, and then he's like, somebody else like presses a knife into your back and whispers in your ear, is just like, "Play it cool, or you're about to lose something you can't afford to lose." What do you do?
His degree?
I'm like, "Buddy, you have no idea. I already owe so much people."
You're about to owe a whole lot less unless you cover.
Well, maybe that's not a bad thing then.
You want to go into an alleyway with us? Let the young lord know this.
I just want to ask him a question. That's all.
We'll answer any questions you have. We're your nice, friendly representatives.
Do I recognize any of them from his dad's?
You do not, but they do appear to be part of the organization.
They do appear to be part of the organization. All right, and what was the dad's name?
The dad's name is Timur Anacona.
Timur Anacona. So I'm like, all right, listen then. Does Anacona have a second crew on this?
Okay, that's your play, huh? He's like, "Oh, you're with that? So, okay, all right. Look, why are you asking about the romance thing? I thought you were just supposed to beat him up."
I didn't know what you guys were about to do. I didn't know if I needed him as an out.
Nah. Where's the rest of your group, right? You're supposed to be like 2 or 3 really strong guys. We're supposed to fall back after we get beat up.
Well, you can see one of them just over there.
So, Kazador, after the long walk over the bridge, the 3 other men are approaching you. They don't know that you're in on the plot to beat up Greco, so they're approaching you, and one of them's just like, "Signore, do you have the time?"
Time for you to get a watch.
So the 3 of them approach in like arrow formation, and he's like, "That's very funny, very funny." He reaches out to put a hand on one of your pauldrons.
Excuse
shoulder
me,
armor.
I'm waiting for a friend.
"No, we're your friend. You come over here with us, huh? You come over here with us."
The only friends I have, I'm drinking with. So if
we'll drink together in that nice dark alleyway over there. Look, friend, I don't know why you're waiting here for the young lord, but I don't want to have to spill your blood all over the place, especially where the young lord could see. you're going to come with us and answer some questions, or we're going to kill you.
I can answer your questions right here.
So the other two guys are moving to like get behind you while this guy stays in front of you, and he's like, you can answer our questions in the dark alleyway over there. Now look, the young lord's gonna be here in like 10 seconds, so you got to decide quick whether you want to get stabbed in the neck or not.
All right, I go along with them. Yep.
Okay, wow, this is okay. You travel into a dark alleyway with these three men.
They start to move off. I'm gonna be like, listen, we have something set up a couple blocks ahead. Are you gonna ruin my play? I need my guy back.
So this guy he whistles and he's like, hey, Anatoly, he's with us, huh? And the first guy that's over with Kazador just looks confused, and he's like, he's part of the thing, with the thing. Greco is incredibly confused now. He's between both groups. He's looking around. He's wondering why everybody was looking kind of hostile. Now they're all looking friendly. This guy's not an idiot. He just has no context for what's happening. And he's like, is everything good here, guys? I mean, I'm feeling a lot of tension between these groups.
I'm going to brush off the guys next to me, and I'm going to move up to Anatoly.
All right.
No, not Anatoly.
Greco.
To Greco.
All right.
And as I move up to Greco, I'm going to, go to put my arm around his shoulder, companionably, and be like, I just have a business proposition for you. And I think you will be very interested to hear about the young lady involved.
How loud are you talking?
As quietly as I can. Okay. That he can still hear me.
When you mention the young lady, the blood begins to drain from his face.
And I'd be like, listen, I have a plan to get everyone out and safe. But these guys, they're not going to like that. So you need to come with us now.
But how will you deal with my father?
I've already got that taken care of. We just need to move. Time is of the essence.
I will let you pick whether this is a persuasion check or a deception check. Unless you want to sell me on the fact that you have actually thought of a way to defeat the father.
So I go with
we're all going to die.
Right. Yeah, because it's not like his team knows what's the plan.
Yeah, no one knows what the plan is. I don't know what the plan is.
Fire on both.
21. Look, I guess all that rolling of dice you did beforehand really helped you out.
I told you.
Yeah, I mean, that's how statistics works.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, all right, you have a trustworthy face. I will go with you right now. Where do you take him?
First time I've heard that, but thank you.
I'm a pretty good judge of character.
That's great.
You said, come with me right now. Where do you take him and what do you do?
Where's Kaz at? Is Kaz coming?
Kaz is still forward on the bridge. The three men that are around him have like stood down their hostility, but now all 7 of the men and Kaz are all looking at you.
Yeah, we're all staring at you, Mortrick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say you need to get rid of your guards. Can you do that?
They're pretty good at following me around. I mean, that's their job. Look, my guards know a little bit about my situation. If you let me talk to them, and I can convince them to side with me over my father, maybe I can just take over the business.
I don't know that...
You seem like you and your companion are very wealthy and powerful. Can you not back my play?
That was not entirely the plan. If you think you can sell it, though, we will attempt to back it up.
We're all going to die.
Okay.
Rik-Jaxx will just start walking out of town right now.
Kazador, this guy's like, friends, come to me. The time has come to throw off the chains of my father's ambivalence. For too long, the north and south sides of town have been divided along lines of wealth and power. For too long, we have remained loveless.
I'm just going to crack him in the back of the head and knock him out.
Oh, shit. Go ahead and make an attack roll with sneak attack if you manage to hit.
What should I? Can you make like a non-weapon attack?
You can, but however, your weapon attacks will do way more damage. You can weapon non-lethally.
Okay, yeah. So, what is?
So you want to
this-
like hit him with the bell end of your epee, you know, like the.
Yeah. What is the sneak attack add?
Oh, that's right. You don't have sneak attack.
Yeah, I don't have.
Advantage.
You get advantage, but you don't have sneak attack dice. So
Okay.
this is going to be pretty tough for you. You do not deal nearly enough damage to knock him out.
Oh,
You clip him behind the
This is
ear,
gonna
and he
be
starts
good.
bleeding, and he's like, "What the fuck?" All right, I'm gonna need a minute to find a bridge to set up a bridge map. But Kazador, the 3 guys around you all begin drawing their weapons. The 4 guys that are waiting draw their weapons, and Greco looks like he's super pissed that Mortrick has attacked him. So we're gonna cut to Runa and Rik-Jaxx. You hear a very loud echo through the fog that says, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
We probably go towards that, knowing that it's probably Mortrick's fault.
Sounds
Oh
good.
boy.
Can we do it? Can we do it stealthily though, just in case?
It is nighttime.
Okay.
You will advance at half speed, however.
It'll
What do you
take
think,
us
Runa?
twice as long to get there. I think we should get to the general area that we think it is, and then stealth.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, you know,
What's the name of the other family?
Padua.
Padua. Okay.
Mortrick's coming up with another plan.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like you guys can just come up with some like art related stuff to talk about real quick. Well, you get to see my art in just a minute, which looks like utter garbage.
Where is Kaz in relation to me right now?
Kaz is at the end of the bridge, so he's about 10 feet away from you.
Okay.
Yeah, and
He's getting spanked in the back alley.
I don't even know who's going to be on whose side right now. Because like they want us to do this thing, but then you know now this
See
guy's
how-
trying to convince
See how
them.
complicated life is with Mortrick?
Really is. And I was about to whisper to Mortrick, like, "What's your plan?" I'm like,
I'm showing you
give
my
me the
plan.
chance.
Maybe
Show
he doesn't know.
I don't know why you would think to.
He doesn't have one.
It's literally an agent of chaos.
Well, you know what they say about agents of chaos.
Mm.
I don't know.
Can't kill
I got
him,
nothing.
Can't live with him.
Exactly. That's what chaos is. You got nothing.
I need to find the thing that lets me. Nope, I messed up. That's fine. Man, I'm so glad that chat doesn't actually have to see these horrible drawings, though.
I don't know how I feel when you say that and I'm drawing online.
It's me. Look, I'm having to make a map right
They will
now.
Forever associated with.
Yeah, they're like, hey, he's right. Those are horrible drawings.
No, it's looking good, man. This is I think this is gonna be Mortrick's shining moment. So this is a perfect night for Mortrick to get a final portrait. I think that's called something when it's like a drawing on your tombstone. Face. Something like that.
Yeah.
Right, this looks awful. I need to just get rid of it. I'm gonna bring you guys over so you can watch me make this horrible art now, but please try not to mock it too hard. Let's see here. I don't know how to do the water is the problem.
Are we seeing your drawing now, or
You are. You're watching
On
me
roll
live
20,
draw a
or-
background
Roll
on
20,
roll
yeah.
20.
on roll 20? Okay,
Yep.
Hey, that's all we need. Perfect.
love it.
Yeah.
Where am I at?
Exactly.
You're right there in the middle.
You're in the water.
He's not in the water yet. This is the
That's the
water.
ground.
There's the bridge.
Yeah.
All right, so Kazador, you are down here at the end of the bridge. Mortrick and Greco are here, and the rest of the thugs are back. So I'm gonna go grab my thug tokens.
Thug tokens. That just sounds hilarious.
So Kazador is surrounded by 3 thugs. Mortrick is just past the 4 thugs. And he's currently hitting
This is gonna be fantastic.
Boss Supreme, aka Greco.
You could just be like, that was a terrible idea, so I had to hit you.
Okay, I got something. Before we can, if I can do it before we roll initiative or something.
So my understanding is Runa and Rik-Jaxx are running as fast as they can to arrive at the edge of combat and then attempt to stealth.
Yes.
Okay, Rik-Jaxx, let's see your stealth check.
We want to use common sense to stealth, you know?
Well, common sense.
I'd like
in
to
this
use a little
campaign
bit of common sense in every game.
What?
Stealth is... Where's my dice? Here it comes.
23 and 19. Okay, so you guys arrive on the battlefield. You are effectively invisible as long as you don't walk out into the open. Once that happens, there's literally no place to hide.
Yep.
Okay, and then there's some other stuff. There are plenty of alleyways here. For instance, there's this building that was right here. They were going to drag him down this alleyway. And there's a building over... Oops. I guess I forgot to undo that line. And if it's necessary, I will get the buildings on the north side done. But who knows where you guys are going to go. Let's go ahead and bring out those initiative dice and go ahead and roll those.
Select as a token.
Oh, we have to select our token, right?
Yeah, select your token.
Oh, that's right. Mine.
I saw Connor's roll and thought that was mine. I was like, crap.
Wait, what? Usul attempted to use a roll command looking for the value of a selected token, but no tokens are selected.
You have to have your token selected for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure that you've clicked on Mortrick?
Yeah.
I forgot to click on mine, but I got a 15.
Okay.
Is it because I popped that window out?
I don't know.
Oh, there it is. Now it finally came out.
No, you just gotta.
When you click it, you'll get the 3 circles above it and 3 circles below.
No, you got it. It's there. Everybody's added to the order.
Nice initiative, too.
What's the name of the girl?
The girl's name is
Padua.
No, that's her family name.
Leah Padua.
Leah.
Okay, Mortrick. You have attempted to knock Greco out. You haven't dealt nearly enough damage to do so. Even a normal human would not have been knocked out with a blow of that magnitude.
It's a sissy punch.
I mean, it's not, it's just, hitting someone in the back of the head with a sword
It's
hilt.
pure Mortrick.
You're just not a legendary hero level of strength. You're just like some dude who hits somebody in the back of the head with the sword hilt.
That's how I roll.
It hurts really bad, and it definitely pisses him off, but it does not knock him out or kill him.
With my sword drawn, I'm going to say to him, Stage Whisper? I'm going to try and Stage Whisper to him. If you would see Leah again, follow my lead. And then I'm going to yell to where everyone on the bridge can hear me. Be like, you have toyed with the family of Padua for the last time. And then I'm going to push him towards the edge of the bridge and try to fake stab him. Try to push him into the water.
I'm going to need 2 rolls from you.
All right.
A persuasion at disadvantage. Because you've already immediately betrayed this guy and he's very confused.
All right.
Welcome to our life.
Oh, second one's super nice.
Let's take a look at what this is. And next, I'm going to need a performance while you try to push him into the water. This is for everybody else.
You remember, you weren't supposed to kill him.
Okay. All right. Let me see your strength roll opposed by his strength roll to push him into the water.
Oh, yeah. No way.
11. Perfectly average.
Slightly above average, some would say. Ooh.
All right, Mortrick.
Mortrick falls in the water. Come on.
You throw off the mantle of friendly and move to being a comical outsider, hostile, right? You're like, haha, I'm from the Padua family. And then you go to push this guy. He is the son of a smuggling lord, a crime baron. You know that he's been adventuring. He is much, much more solidly built than you. It is pathetic flailing. You're like, ha! And this guy, he doesn't like you. You hit him in the back of the head. He's really confused. You're like a child pushing against an adult. It's going nowhere. The men around you, however, have bought into this deception because that's what you told them you were going to do, and then you did it. So now they believe that you're a guy from the Padua family here to beat up Greco in order to cast off the chains of his father or something. It's not super clear. Rik-Jaxx, you have no idea about any of this. You have no fucking clue what's going on, except that Mortrick just attacked your target by trying to push him and failed incredibly bad. It wasn't even stabbing, it was just That's all you saw.
Okay, and so I see 3 surrounding Kazador.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So am I allowed to move and hold an attack, or I could attack from this range, right? I could shoot.
Yep.
All right,
it will give away your position once you fire.
Yeah, I know, but I'll delay my action and hold off my attack just in case.
Okay, you cannot move if you hold.
Understood. I'm going to do a range attack.
Okay, all right. What is the trigger for your attack?
If Kazador is being attacked.
Understood. Runa. There we go. I like that better.
Not Mortrick.
Runa, you haven't even totally seen what's going on. Rik-Jaxx is like narrating a little bit to you. The moment you step around the corner, though, you'll be obvious.
Can I go around the building to...
You can actually go over the building.
I will do that then.
Okay, because they're only like human height tall. Yeah. You can try to scramble up. Go ahead and make a athletics check to climb.
Nice. Come on.
Athletics check.
Let's get that natural 20.
10 is good enough to make it up the side of the building. So, you know, you're a monk. This ain't nothing for you. You kind of hop, step, jump, pull up. The roof here is flat but large. It's kind of like an apartment building complex that's only one floor. You know, there's probably like 3 families.
My stealth check, I'd want to get to like the edge.
Yeah,
of that building.
you move at a crouch up to the edge. That is all of your movement, though.
Cool.
You can see what's happening now. You didn't see Mortrick try to push Greco in, but you do see him like threatening Greco with a sword.
All right, I will hold my action until the some type of fighting starts, whether it's them attacking us or us attacking them.
Okay. What is your action in that case?
I'm gonna just jump down and punch one of these guys.
So you can't hold a movement action. You've actually already used all your movement, but even if you couldn't hold a movement action anyway.
All right, I guess that'll just end my turn then.
Okay. All right, Mortrick, this is your moment in the sun. These guys all move around you and begin punching and kicking, pulling knives on you, but all of their attacks are completely ineffective. They're here to make you look good, so they're like punch, but they come in with like a more like a slap sideways, and then like all of your like movements, even if you just do like a wild flailing, they're like, oh! It definitely looks like you are the most impressive fighter out here. I'm gonna roll to see how good their performance is. It is convincing to everyone in the area. They're like, it's like professional wrestling, but the good professional wrestling, not the bad one. Kazador, the same thing happens to you. these three guys are all like, "You're with him, aren't you? Prepare to die!" Whoop-ah! Whoop-ah! And they're like punching your armor. They're not holding back, right? They're just punching your armor at full strength. But you know, it's full plate, so they're not making it anywhere.
I figured out what I wanted to do on my action. Just pull out some popcorn. Just kind of sit there. It's a free show.
Kazador, you're up.
All right, so
You're being beaten on by 3 thugs.
I'm gonna play along. I'm gonna wrestle them. I'm gonna try and deck them. You know, play deck them.
All right, make a performance check.
Right. You got the character sheet.
All right.
Okay.
Look, it is the slowest spinning sidekick you have ever seen a man in full plate do. But the guy that's on the edge of the river waits to accept it. He like looks around, pretends he doesn't see it coming. Your spinning sidekick hits him and he's like, "Ah!" And he falls into the river dramatically with a splash. As he goes down, he's like, "Boss, forget about me, save yourself." Anything else, Kazador?
I'm gonna, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna keep on moving through them. And they can take their opportunity.
They take opportunity attacks, but again, it's all comedy.
Right. And then I'm gonna sit myself right here. So.
All right. So Greco is not in on this. Greco is attacking with great violence versus Mortrick, but all of his dudes are acting as flanking partners for him, and he is a rogue, so he's gonna go ahead and take sneak attack and advantage on this attack, because he's got partners all around you distracting you, and he's just like, "I thought you were going to help me overthrow my father, but now you are betraying me again and trying to throw me in the drink? Who are you? Who sent you? And why do you know about my future wife?" And then he like reels back and pulls out a pretty wicked looking curved knife, goes to like gut you with it. So he has advantage on this roll, which is bad for you. And your armor isn't that good to begin with.
Nope.
2d20, keep highest 1, plus 3, boom. The dice say 16 to hit.
That hits.
1d6, plus 1, plus 1d6. You take 6 points of damage as he slashes you in the gut, and you're like, "Oh!" All of his dudes are suddenly like, "Oh shit, this is real." They're very confused, and on their turn, they're gonna ask the boss what to do, because now they're like, "Okay, this is not part of the plan." Mortrick, the plan is falling apart rapidly.
Aha! If there was a plan, it could fall apart, but there isn't, so it's not. So it's going perfectly.
Okay, that is a interpretation.
All right, so I'm now bleeding from a wound to the gut. Kaz is right there. Having slashed me, I'm going to like lunge towards him and like try to grab onto his clothes and like pull myself into Greco's face and say, "You fool! It's the only way I can get you to safety. Your father sent these men to kill you." And then I'm going to push him towards Kaz, and then brandish my weapon to the remaining thugs on the bridge and say, "My poison blade will be the death of you all." And then just, some swipes in their direction.
Okay. There's no convincing Greco that you're on his side, because you've lied to him repeatedly.
In the span of 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's on to you. He's confused. He's angry. He's armed. You try to direct his attention towards Kazador. He suddenly notices Kazador. We'll see what he does on his turn about that. However, this poison blade thing is a little confusing to your new pals. I'm gonna need a performance check to sell them on this, especially because your blade clearly lacks any poison at all.
That they know of.
Magic.
Okay. One of them goes, "Look, hearken, there be a purple tip to it, wet with the tail of a wyvern's poison." The rest are like, aye, 'tis a deadly sleeping draught. Were we wounded by it, we would fall into a deep slumber. Rik-Jaxx, you still have no idea what's going on.
You're right. Can I climb the building too?
Yep, make a athletics check.
I pass him my popcorn.
Athletics. All right. Athletics coming up. Where is it? Acrobatics, athletics. Okay, here we go.
Yep, you pass. It's 10 feet to get to the top, so that'll move you right here, and then you've got whatever your movement left to move along the rooftop.
25 total, so 15 left.
Yep.
So is that 1, 2, 3? Is that good right there?
Yep.
Okay.
You scramble along the roof stealthily. What would you like to do now that you've arrived?
Let's see. So
I hear there's popcorn.
what's this guy below us doing? He just happens to be the closest one to us?
He just happens to be the closest one to you. It does look like he's preparing to charge at Kazador.
All right, Runa, what do you think? Should we jump in?
I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I don't either. Let's see. I can still. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of long range. I don't even think my hand crossbow is that far range. I don't have it somewhere. Wait, inventory. I just want to make sure I'm in normal range. Sorry, guys. Freaking fuck, I don't have that anywhere. Okay. Oh, here it is.
You're looking for the range on a hand crossbow?
Yeah. Is it 60?
You're pretty much in range of everybody.
Yeah, I think you can shoot everybody, especially because you have height advantage.
I think it's 60 feet.
I mean, height advantage isn't a thing, and
The hand crossbow doesn't have a whole lot of range.
yeah, it does not.
I think it's 60.
Light crossbow is 80, 320, and hand crossbow is 30, 120. So pick your target very carefully.
Okay.
You can get basically everybody up until you hit Mortrick.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're just going to shoot the guy that's down below us then.
Okay. You get advantage on this roll,
We haven't
and
actually killed anybody yet.
sneak attack.
Yeah.
I mean, look, here's the thing. They've
The
been
situation appears threatening, don't you think?
I want to point out,
No, it appears stupid. And
they've been succeeding on their performance rolls, and more importantly, you know that Kaz kicked a dude into the water. You definitely see Mortrick bleeding. This situation seems real to you, unless you'd like to make an insight check to look through it.
No, I think I'd...
All right, then you're gonna snipe this guy from behind. You get advantage. You get sneak attack. Yeah, Runa. Mortrick's acting is superb compared to your ability to discern reality.
I hate myself for rolling that.
Okay, yeah, 22. That's gonna hit. 9 points of damage plus sneak attack if you'd like to throw it in there, because
I would. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I want sneak attack. Okay, so... Is that /R?
Yes. Are you using your regular rounds, or are you using
They're the regular rounds.
Okay, I just didn't know if you were coding them in that horrible plague stuff, or...
No, I have not done that yet. It scares me too much.
That's reasonable. Okay, you shoot this guy through the heart from behind. The bolt of the crossbow comes out the front end of his chest. It doesn't completely exit, and dark heart blood begins pouring out of him. He looks down and dramatically falls. The guy that's chasing Kazador doesn't notice. Greco doesn't notice. But all the guys surrounding Mortrick notice, and they're like, oh, fuck, that wasn't faked. That dude is dead. Runa, that dude is dead. He is super dead. This guy, he's
No
dead.
one was supposed to die. Why are we killing people?
Do you loudly shout that?
No.
Okay.
I guess I'll. Fuck, dude, this is so fucked. I will probably yell that out loud.
All right. Pretty much everybody turns to acknowledge that you're there in between the fight, and they're like, "Look, a fellow adventurer on the roof."
I'll jump down, I guess. Get up to this guy and try to knock him out.
Okay.
You're committed.
Show me the power of your dice rolls.
I gotta find.
I don't know about you guys, but I think this is going great.
What is your angle, Mortrick?
Seriously, I'd like to know. I think we'd all like to know.
Yeah.
So my end goal at this point is getting all of these thug guys down so we can overpower Greco together.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Runa, you go in for the attack on this guy. He sees you coming. It is just barely stopped as he gets a leather vambrace in the way of your attack.
Wonderful.
Just a little bit more effort and you could have nailed it. Would you like to key point? Get some extra attacks in.
Yes, I would.
You sound so dejected about that. You've lost all your morale.
It's okay to fight.
You have to kill everybody.
Get Greco and rough him up. Still good.
Again, he intercepts the attack perfectly, just barely in time. That will hit. Yeah. Your final key flurry manages to land.
Attack.
There is a difference between roughing up and shooting through the heart.
No. Greco is supposed to be roughed up. Everyone else is expendable.
Okay,
That's,
8 points of damage. You hit him hard enough to kill the average human being. He's like, oh, my solar plexus. Oh, it hurts so bad. No, I'm good. And he shakes his fists out. He stands back up and goes to counterattack Runa, because you're standing right next to him. And then a bunch of people are going to attack Mortrick.
Can I use the rest of my movement to get next to Kaz?
Sorry, what was that?
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get next to Kaz.
Oh, interesting. Well, he is going to make a opportunity attack.
Oh, I thought I downed him.
No. He has just enough hit points left to not be downed.
Well, I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just trying to knock him out.
Right, understood.
Right.
You haven't exceeded his hit point limit yet.
Got it.
You still want to try to move away from him?
No.
Okay. Then he, in contact with you, is going to make an attack.
All
15 to hit?
I believe that's my AC. Sorry. Armor class. Yeah.
It's all right. I can convert it to Thaco if you'd like.
It's 15.
Okay. Thaco jokes, everybody. They go over great. 4 points of damage as he slashes you with a long knife. Speaking of long knives, Mortrick, you are in the midst of a bunch of long knives. They go from play fighting to murdering.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, that's not right. Or D20. All right. Let me ask, what's your AC? I'm pretty sure only one of those is going to hit.
13.
Okay, so before it was play fighting, now it's serious. But you pick up the pace. You're like, block, roll, dodge. You manage to weave your way through it, but then a lucky hit from behind.
So he did
3
real
points of
damage to me?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you did just kill one of their guys. And Greco's fighting for real now. Everyone is confused. Kazador.
Yeah.
Kazador.
I don't know.
I don't know either, buddy. You got to make some decisions real quick here. Greco will almost certainly murder Mortrick in the next few seconds.
Yeah. I mean, what are the rules of grappling with a crossbow?
There aren't any. You need 2 hands free in order to grapple somebody else, I think.
Yeah. So I can't be like, kind of like wrestle him and then
No.
we'll kill him if you guys. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look, if you want to try to take Greco hostage and hold a crossbow to his head, I'll allow for that, but it's going to be a more difficult check. It'll be a disadvantage.
Or attack Greco with non-lethal intent.
Yeah, but even if I do, like, it's not. There's not much of a guarantee that. There's zero guarantee that I'll like actually knock him out.
Connor, nothing in this life is guaranteed.
Yeah,
Mortrick lives by one maxim and one maxim alone. It is that.
I don't think I'm gonna follow your advice.
The key word being you live by that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to try and grab him with the crossbow and all that.
All right. You'll be rolling at disadvantage versus his roll.
Yeah.
If you succeed, you'll have a crossbow to his head. He's not super strong. That's why I'm letting you make this roll. Unfortunately, you're going to need to beat a 19 on disadvantage.
All right. So roll 2d20.
Yep. And then you add your athletics.
Okay.
I mean, you could just make an athletics roll if you've got it set up in your sheet.
Okay. I will do that then.
That twice.
I mean, if he rolls it, it'll show up twice. Oh man, that first one would have been great, but since it's a disadvantage, it's a 15. Look, you think you got him. You think you got him. You get him in like the chokehold. You're trying to bring the crossbow towards his head. He knocks it away and turns around. And he's just like, "So you have betrayed me as well."
I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, okay, do I still have an action or what?
No, that was your action.
Okay, so then it's a question of
what would you like to do?
Or not. I guess I just have to stand my ground.
All right. Well, Mortrick, you get a reprieve for now. It's Kazador time. He wheels around on you and is like, "Anatoly, to me! We shall surround this dog and strip him of his plate armor." And he holds his action.
Okay.
So he's like waiting and like dodging around Kazador.
We're both sort of like feeling each other out. We're
Yeah,
kind of like,
exactly.
okay.
Except he's gonna like try to lethally assassinate you, and you're trying to. Well, I guess you're also trying to assassinate him.
At this point, I don't know what I'm trying to do.
Mortrick, many existential questions have come forward for you. You are in a very bad situation where you will be murdered.
I mean, it's not ideal.
I recognize your problems. Do you have any solutions?
What's the name of the Shadow Knight? What's his name?
Sir Harris Napoli.
Sir Harris Napoli. Okay. So I'm just going to wait. Which one is Anatoly?
Anatoly is this guy back here.
Me? No, that's by Runa. Okay.
Yep.
So just one of the
Anatoly.
guys by me. I'm gonna open up with sleep. I'm gonna cast sleep.
Where is the center point you're casting sleep on?
Me.
Okay. How many hit points do you have left?
Oh, does it affect me? I thought it was everyone but me.
No, it's everybody.
Have you read sleep? I will allow you a moment to rethink your choices in life. Specifically this one.
I thought it avoided.
Eventually, we're going to get to all of them.
It does not disinclude you. It starts with the creature with the lowest hit points, which is you.
Yeah, which is me. Yeah.
So you're going to put yourself to sleep.
Okay.
And then that'll be it.
You would be like, sleep! Oh.
That's how I'm gonna play dead.
It's like one of those, those goats that get frightened.
Fall over and play dead? Yeah.
Okay, so
I forgot I'm supposed to be drawing.
name again?
Sorry, what was the question?
The Shadow Knight's name again?
Sir Harris Napoli.
Sir Harris Napoli. Man, because I was thinking Anatoly again. Okay. So I'm going to attack one of the thugs with me. Next to me.
Sorry, there's like a lot of side noise going on right now. It's hard to hear you.
How do I double click the button?
If you hold click, it'll.
Oh.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but
It sounds like dishes or
not
something.
guy. Is my cursor off?
Mortrick
Okay.
is not half elf. He is fully human, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm fully human. So I'm going to. Oh shit, no, I'm not because I have this now. So I'm going to cure wounds on myself,
That is a good start.
and I'm going to say out loud.
Had cure wounds this whole time.
No, he picked it
I
up
just
at level
got it.
2.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, 5 points. We haven't seen you cast Cure Wounds before. What does this look like? You do have to touch the creature, so at some point you're gonna have to touch yourself.
Catch myself.
Nothing about you.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like? Are we talking like a glowing white hand? Are we talking like a sunburst behind you? Do you gather purplish energy? Are there little red crosses that appear around you? Beep, 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 beep.
No, I'm just gonna go with like an sickly orange glow.
Okay, you touch yourself
I touch myself
with an orange glow.
while saying,
Please don't kill me.
I'm gonna say,
I'm sorry for all of my mistakes.
help us cut these men down, or the Padua girl is for the Shadow Knight.
Okay, so your plan is to double down on the deception that they now believe you literally are enacting. These guys no longer, I want to be clear, they no longer think that you're on their side
Their
pretending
side,
to be Padua. They now believe you really are on the Padua side and are actively attempting to murder you because one of their dudes just got shot in the back.
Just got shot dead, yeah.
Yes. So there's no need to roll to convince them that you're on the Padua side. They believe you inherently.
I guess like there's no way. Like I've already shot my chance with Greco. He's not gonna.
Yes, your
Yeah.
constant lies and deceptions failing
Yeah.
have brought you to this point where no one believes you.
So, can I use my movement to jump into the river?
You can. You are going to provoke a number of attacks.
Yeah, I do it.
4 of them.
All
least.
all five
of them.
people.
5 people. Yeah.
know about that.
So Greco is going to spend his reaction rather than activate his attack on Kazador. When he notices you moving behind him, he whips around, tries to stab you in the neck.
Do it.
So he's still got advantage on his roll. I forgot to do keep highest. It's only an 11, so that's going to fail. Everybody else tries to stab you. Oh my god. All right, 2 hits. 1d6
I
plus
can
1.
survive anything.
I don't know about that. You take 4 and then 5, 6. So you take 10 points of damage.
Oh shit! I only had 9.
All right, I have really bad news for you. Possibly the worst news.
I don't think it's that bad.
You fall unconscious into the river.
No.
It's cold.
Why
It's
can't I
night.
Okay.
You're now bleeding and dying. And if no one jumps in there to save you, you will be actually dead very quickly.
I'm going to rely
So, Rik-Jaxx,
on the guy that's already fallen into the river.
you're the
Just
only one that gets a
think I'm
clear
on his side.
view of this. Mortrick dramatically throws himself in the river and is like stabbed in the back and then in the leg. He falls down into the river, backflip dramatically, and does a dead man's float real quick, and then starts sinking. In just a few moments, his head will be beneath the water.
So can
And it's your turn.
Can I dash across the rooftop, jump over that alley and into the water and try to go save him?
Absolutely. Dash will allow you to move double your speed,
Jump off
but
the building into the water.
you swim at half speed. So we're gonna have to do some math here.
You're also much smaller than him.
Yes, it will be difficult. All right, so it's 15 feet to the water. You leap off the edge of the building, which is 8 feet tall, into the water. and you arrive.
Holy crap! It's Jason Bourne.
It will require the rest of your movement to get to Mortrick.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Do you want to like keep Mortrick from falling?
Yeah, if I can, I want to try to grab him and bring him to shore.
That will. You don't have nearly enough speed. I'm gonna need an athletics roll to see if you can even stabilize Mortrick. Not even medically. I'm just talking. Keep him from sinking with your body weight
above water.
Yes. That medical stabilization is a problem for another round.
Which check do you want?
Athletics.
All right, here it comes.
Oof.
You are trying to hold Mortrick up, and he's almost dragging you down into the water with him. He's just so human.
Which is ironic.
Runa.
I'm going to try to knock out the guy that's in front of me.
Okay, all right. Anatoly. Anatoly is confused. He was preparing to attack Kazador. Mortrick has fallen in. Some dark figure has appeared out of nowhere to dive into the water. That's a critical hit right there. Why don't you go ahead and show me that critical damage? You're attempting to knock him out, correct?
Oh, shit. Yeah. I rolled the wrong one. Hold on.
That's fine. I'll let you keep that 16 for when you move around and hit somebody else later.
All right.
Yeah, you knock him the fuck out. So Anatoly's getting ready to rush Kazador, and you punch him in the side of the head, and you just go blump.
I guess I'll move over 5, 10, 15 to there.
Okay. Whoever you want to attack, your attack will hit with a 16.
I'll hit Greco.
Okay, yeah, you got him. Lethal or non-lethal?
Wait, I only have one attack, right?
I'm sorry. Well, I assumed that you were going to key flurry to add some other attacks.
I'm gonna do it.
Yep. So that 16 will count.
That's 7 damage.
Yep. Greco is reeling. It looks like he's very nearly been knocked out by your blow. Yep, that's another critical hit for another 10 points of damage. Uppercut. Greco is like, ugh, Street Fighter. He hits the ground and bounces 3 times before stopping.
And then I only have 2 attacks on a key point, right?
That's correct.
So I'm done.
You are completely out because you bonus action, regular action, moved. He is completely disabled.
And then I'll say, enough. And that's it.
Make an intimidation check. You did just run over and knock their glorious leader out with one mighty combination.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
What's a -2? It's a decent roll.
All right.
All right. So all of the guys hold position. They stop, and they're like, "Fine, we're ready to negotiate. What are your terms?"
Let's get Mortrick out of the water first.
Yeah.
Well, the first, I don't think that's the.
You only have 6 seconds, and
we take him back to his father. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. We can tell.
we don't know what the fuck's going on. They are holding position. They're confused. But you could clearly kill all of them. Kazador.
Look, guys. There was some confusion here.
A man is dead.
As he's saying this, I'm gonna jump into the water. Kaz, you can handle this.
That'll be for your next round because you're completely tapped out.
Yeah.
Just warning you, Runa. I have plate mail. I can't run.
Is that what you're spending your whole turn doing? Talking to Runa? And
no, I just mentioned that sideways. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and then look, guys. We just want to complete the mission as intended.
They're all just staring at the dead guy behind you.
Your friend over there looks okay.
He's dead.
I know it looks bad.
There is a pool of blood running from his heart onto the ground behind you.
It looks worse than it is. Okay.
Look, just tell him.
I need you to make a deception check real quick, Kazador.
I had to do it to make it look real.
Conceivably, you could succeed at this.
It's a squid.
Not likely.
It's the only thing that I have left.
No. No.
Okay.
Greco's out. Mortrick, I'm gonna need you to make a medicine check, or sorry, I need you to make a death saving throw. And you begin sinking into the water. Well, you have 1 of 3, but you're now drowning.
Yes.
Next turn, if you're still drowning, you'll just die at the beginning of the turn.
Okay.
Rik-Jaxx, Mortrick is drowning. And he's bleeding out. His lungs are filling with water. His flabby human arms are not capable of holding his weight up.
I don't know what else to do. I'm going to try to grab him around the neck and try to keep his head above water.
Okay, make a athletics check to tread water here. If you fail this one again, you will also begin sinking.
Alrighty.
No, that looks good. Yeah, that's a 16. All right, Mortrick. Sweet oxygen fills your precious lungs.
Though? Do I get any motion?
Yes, you can drag him half of a half speed. Quarter of your speed is 5 feet.
Okay. So is that just enough to get to shore, or is that going to be just
you can drag him there. You are along the shoreline on this little outcropping, but you aren't on it yet.
Okay.
So you're pulling him back to shore. He's heavy. You're slow. Oh.
Now my cunning action, do I get another dash?
My God, that's actually true. Yeah.
So can I bring him on even further?
You can bring yourself up to the shore, and you can be on land, and you can have him, you're pulling him out of the water.
Okay.
Basically. All right, Baywatch. Nice job. Runa,
little red suit.
Mortrick is dying, but he's no longer drowning. Some of his problems have been solved. Others may be unsolvable. What would you like to do? I want to remind you, these guys are afraid of you, not Kazador.
Me?
Yes, they're intimidated by you. So they're holding now, but Kazador has tried to lie to them. They're really confused.
Apparently, some things went wrong. We need to take it all sorted out. The clusterfuck. We did not expect this many people. We did not expect another team.
All right, they all look around and they're just like, "We were supposed to lose to you in a fight. That was what the boss told us."
He already had guards. We expected them, not all.
We are the guards.
You weren't with him at the wherever he was.
We weren't in the pub. We were just waiting outside for him. If we go in there, we would have been marked instantly.
Listen,
how are we supposed to know that?
a lot of things we did not intend. Sorry for your friend, but we need to get this cleared up, and this is not the place to do it.
Okay. You doing anything else?
No.
All right.
I can hold my action if they try to attack me, but that's about it.
They are not concerned with attacking you guys.
Yeah.
They're confused. They're angry, but they're also very afraid. Kazador.
Kazador attacks. No.
Kazador leaps in the water to save Mortrick and sinks to the bottom.
It's like a rock. I mean, you could probably stand in that depth right there.
You don't even know how deep it is.
It's close to
He
the shore.
says to himself, "Yeah, I could make that."
It's a port city, though, so all of the waterways would be naturally deep.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And it's nighttime. I mean, who knows how deep it could go? You know what water's like on those puddles on by the road?
No, Kazador does not know what water is like. So he's just going to walk forward and say, "Yeah, guys, we just need to calm down and we can let your boss handle this discussion."
Mortrick
still needs to be.
I'll go to pick up Greco.
Okay, all right. They're a little apprehensive about you picking up Greco, but, you know, you were strong enough to knock Greco out in literally 6 seconds, so what are they going to do? Mortrick, you find yourself back in college at a 200 level course. The professor is not a bard. She's a guest lecturer. She's a warlock, and she's just like, "Now, you must understand that using enchantment magic openly is a very foolish mistake. enchantment magic leads us to the conundrum called the sorcerer and the witch. There once was a jealous sorcerer who found a witch to be, well, overwhelmingly beautiful, but unfortunately completely reprehensible in attitude. The sorcerer wished of her some spell components that he could not acquire himself. And then you trail off as the dream continues. I need you to make a death saving throw.
What the shit? I pushed the button. There it is. Yes.
Okay, you have 1 failure, 1 success.
Right.
Rik-Jaxx, you want to keep dragging Mortrick up on shore?
Absolutely.
Very well.
Can I do it, or do I need to roll for it?
No, you're good. You got it.
All right, here goes my medicine check.
All right. Yeah, Baywatch is correct. You force the water out of Mortrick's lungs. You slap some quick bandages on his wounds.
All in slow motion.
If you had hair, you could shake it gloriously. Instead, the top of your shiny head glints in the torchlight of Lowtown. Mortrick, roll. Oh, yeah, in 2 hours you'll wake up, and I expect you'll have some explaining to do to somebody, probably multiple somebodies. I'm gonna go ahead and take us out of the initiative order. Talk to me here, group. Mortrick may not have had a plan, but you have a chance to plan now. What is the plan?
Plan is to take everybody back. Hopefully he's still knocked out. Take everybody back to what's his face and get this all sorted out.
You're going back to Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who is handling Mortrick?
I will. I'll carry him.
All right. Runa, you've got Greco over your shoulder. You got 4 thugs in tow.
Firemen carry him.
Kazador, how are you carrying Mortrick? Princess carry? Over the shoulder?
Over shoulder.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What? No.
By your waist. So you're dragging him.
I mean, his head is sort of like...
You drag him by one leg. Behind you.
I mean, I was thinking, the Kazador is so short that, the head might dangle off and be sort of like nearly grazing the street as he passes. So
is that really a problem, though?
No,
Anyway,
it's not for Kaz. No, Kaz is like, you deserve it there, Mortrick.
You all make it back inside the River Serpent. There is some exclamation. Street. These guys don't have a guard, technically. They're like the mafia, so they have to send somebody to go deal with the dead guy. Someone needs to go fish the other guy who dramatically fell in the water out. Greco being injured causes some alarm. Nobody here is like a sorcerer or any sort of magician, so there's no one to instantly revive him. But they make him comfortable and begin bandaging his wounds. The rest of the guys start talking, and the room begins turning pretty hostile against you very quickly. However, you are brought back to the father, but Mortrick is left out with the wounded.
I got this. So I want to use Thieves' Cant.
Yep.
Talking to the dad.
Okay. All right.
And say, hey, there was clearly a misunderstanding, but from my point of view, since Greco is knocked out and not injured, we have inadvertently done the plan as requested with, and it's very convincing. It's very real, right? So we're going to leave, and you guys can just tell him we were with the other clan, and it comes across as totally convincing. So from my point of view, the mission was successful.
From his point of view, from Greco's point of view, it also will be successful because he legitimately believes Mortrick to be a member of the Padua. So Dad is like, I am upset that you have killed one of my men. You have imposed upon me a blood price which I must pay. However, you have driven a wedge between my son and this young woman that will be difficult to repair and mend. So I congratulate you on the perspicacity of your plan. When at first I had met you, I had questioned whether you were capable of such a grand deception, but it would appear that your abilities at rewriting reality are indeed quite fundamental.
Yep. So I'll finish off. Yeah, we're learning that our methods are unpredictable but successful.
I will speak with my finest smuggler captain. He will take you on his boat, the Velocity Raven, my fastest smuggling ship, through the narrow straits. You will arrive in Pyre's water, in havens within 2 weeks.
That's great. We appreciate it. And
However,
uh-oh.
one of my men is dead. I would know by whose hand.
That was by my hand.
There must be a price to be paid for this man's death.
I'm listening.
I will require your little finger on your left hand.
That's not going to happen.
I insist.
What was that whisper?
Then you shouldn't have shot him.
Yeah, okay. You're going to blame all this on me.
You're
Yeah.
literally the only one who killed anybody.
I'm sorry I'm the only one that can do real damage.
You don't have to do real damage.
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, you know what?
Sir, what can we offer you instead? This man, as you can see...
What would you offer in the place of a life of a loyal servant?
How loyal was he really? I mean, do you know him well?
I'll tell you how loyal he was. He died for my son.
It was a... Yes. I can't answer that question for you, sir. But
Wait, there was never anything in the contract that collateral damage was to be avoided. The only contract said we were not to kill Greco.
your men got in the way. They were supposed to stand down.
Make a persuasion check at advantage with Rik-Jaxx's help. Kazador.
Okay. Okay.
14. I will not take a life then, nor will I take a finger. But there must be some amends to be made for the disrespect that has been shown to my organization.
Is there a were-guild we can pay?
There is such a were-guild. Such a barbarian custom is known to me.
Mm-hmm.
I will accept 25 pieces of gold, which I will give in full to his widow and his young daughter.
Okay. I take out 30 and I hand it to the man.
He says, 2 years of strong work by him will allow his family to help recover from this inexcusable loss. I will also provide for them in this time of need. Go now. I hope that I never see you again, although I will give you a good recommendation should you require it.
Thank you. And we humbly make our way out of there as quick as possible.
Okay. It's sometime after midnight when Mortrick wakes up. Who's there with him as he's been laid on a table and people are drinking around him, giving him sour looks and looking like they would rather stab him to death than wait for him to wake up. Where are you guys when Mortrick wakes up?
Drinking.
Do we have a boat to go to?
You do. It is called the
Velocity Raven.
Velocity Raven. It is a smuggler vessel.
All right, so the first thing I say when I wake up is, I think that went pretty well.
I grab him by the scruff of his neck and drag him out of the bar.
Was there a time that we were supposed to be at the Raven?
Anytime you're ready to go, they're ready to take you.
All right. I just needed a few minutes away from everybody, so I probably went back to the bridge
Okay.
that we were at and just like sat there and meditated a little bit with my feet hanging over the bridge edge.
Were you?
Now, what the fuck just happened?
Were you seeking wisdom?
How could I avoid that in the future? Yeah.
Interesting. Make an insight roll real quick.
All right.
Wow, that's fucking critical. Okay. The bridge falls away from you. You are in a plane of infinite water in every direction. You're hanging above it, seated. And you hear the soft susurrus of waves all around you. And you feel like the water is watching you. And you hear a voice just whisper to you, "Child of the stone, you wish our aid."
I don't know what to do anymore. Everything seems to be falling apart.
You must be as water. You must adapt around you. Flow with events. Do not try to stop them.
But what they do is so far out of my control.
Control.
Borderline evil at this point.
Evil, good. These are concepts beyond the understanding of the elements. They are entirely human, unknown. Control is an illusion. The water is great and mighty and carves apart continents. It is itself a primal force. To attempt to control is foolish. To go with, you may guide. If you wish to control the chaos of your party, you must lead them from the front by going with their flow.
Ooh, nice advice.
Well, that's what you get on a 20.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Infomercial.
Well, I just want to point out, again, this is not me telling you anything. This is the primal force of water Ganassi's ancestral spirits telling you how they see things.
I'm pretty much sure Mortrick was right.
That is definitely not anything that they would have ever
Mortrick hears
said.
what he wants to hear.
I guess it is true about selective hearing. When you come back to yourself several minutes later, you feel entirely refreshed. In fact, your key points have been reset.
Yeah.
Celestial well, I wouldn't say celestial. Primal energy from around you has rejuvenated your body in your time of troubling, questioning need.
I come back not entirely hating Mortrick.
Okay.
But I'll definitely meet everybody back at the ship.
So the river serpent is small. It does have many sails, and it should be noted it looks like perhaps it could carry 24 people at most. And it only has one mast, but that mast has extra sets of sails along the side, so it's got like 3 wide sails rather than just one big sail in the front. The captain looks a little tired. He wears a enormous captain's hat with a giant red ribbon on it. He's got a cut over his eye where it's clear that someone tried to stab him in the face, and a great bushy eyebrows through which the cut runs. A strong kind of Slavic face and massive nose. Definitely been broken several times. And he says, "Ah, good day, friends. Good day, or good evening.
There's something I want to do before we leave, but we can handle it after this.
I am Captain Espresso Leandro. Please come aboard my ship into my cabin, and we will talk about your destination and behavior aboard my vessel."
It's a pleasure to meet you, Captain.
So watch it.
I give it a dirty yellow and I follow along.
So
pleasure to meet you, Captain, and I'll go up and shake his hand.
All right, he will shake your hand, and he's got some measure of strength behind him. His arms are huge. and they are covered in muscles like corded wire. He leads you into his.
I also have a good measure of strength in my shape.
Oh, we're doing this, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You are, however, you get the better of him in the handshaking contest. He looks impressed. As he leads you onto the boat, you can see people are putting out lanterns. There's about a dozen men working at high speed to rig the boat, get the cargo loaded, luff out the sails. They're preparing to depart immediately as long as you're ready. Either way, they wouldn't be ready to go at a moment's notice. The captain leads you into his cabin, which I have here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, the captain's cabin is here. At the back of the boat, he leads you through a double set of double doors, and inside there's just a simple hammock, a chest, a chair, and a number of logbooks piled on a desk. It is very Spartan. Perhaps what is more concerning are nailed to the ceiling are a number of pirate flags, each of them bearing the skull and crossbones in some artistic measure, all of them black, red, or purple. And he says, I should inform you. Aboard my boat, you will need to still work. I would hope that all of you are capable of keeping a night watch. Is this so?
Indeed.
For where we
can
go,
help with.
the narrow straits will take 3 days of travel through treacherous canyons and shallow reefs. Among them, it is rumored that the harpies have come around again. Now, aboard my vessel, I keep absolute discipline. I should inform you I spent 5 years in prison, for I am a ruthless... And then the door opens, and in walks... She looks like maybe... She's like 7 to 10 years old. She's kind of short for her age. She's got curly blonde hair that you can see spilling out from a hoodie. It is green, and the belly of it has like a weird shape. And it occurs to you she's wearing like a dragon hoodie. And the top part of the hoodie is like a plush dragon face. And there's little stitched together wings behind her, so she looks like a little dragon running around. And she's like, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. And he's like, I am a fierce, a great captain. Just a very nice and chivalrous man. And he moves so that you guys can't see his face. So she can't see his face, and so only you guys can. And he's giving you a death glare. He was in the middle of intimidating you, right?
Understanding.
So she's like, oh, sorry, Captain Daddy.
What a beautiful costume you have.
All of the men on board helped her work on it. She's like, yeah,
Quite lovely.
it's the water dragon Cynthia. That's me. I'm a great and powerful dragon. Rawr! And she holds up her hands in claw formation.
I'll pull back like I'm scared.
Yeah,
like, ooh, so terrifying.
Fear as well.
So the captain turns and is like, bosun's mate, it is far past your bedtime. I need you to head back downstairs. And she's like, okay, captain. And she scampers off. And he's like, there are 2 rules on my boat. I am a former pirate who spent 5 years in prison. And that is only because they could not find ways to pin worse crimes on me, and only were able to keep me in prison for not paying my taxes. The second rule is not only am I a terrifying and very deadly man, but if you touch my daughter, you will not be found.
Your daughter will be safe with us.
Good. Then we have an understanding.
Yes.
I am very scary.
We are very good at work, particularly this one, and I point at Mortrick and Rik-Jaxx.
Very well.
Wait, what?
This one looks scry, and perhaps he can make it up into the crow's nest for the night.
Yes,
Yeah.
very good at that. He can definitely take first watch.
And third.
Mortrick can take second.
No, he's pointing to Mortrick the whole time.
Yeah,
he
Mortrick.
he wants to stick Mortrick in the crow's nest for all of the night watches.
I believe Rik-Jaxx here would be better suited for that. Mortrick is more of a manual labor kind of guy.
There is not much manual labor to do at night, but I suppose we can assign him to do all of the sail work. It is heavy and slow.
Wait, what?
That sounds fair. Yep.
Yes.
It sounds like his kind of task.
When you have completed your business in town and are ready to move forward with whatever adventuring story it is you have, speak with my quartermaster. We will get underway once you are done. The quartermaster is my second in command, a representative of the crew. Since you will be temporarily joining the crew, you can bring any concerns you have to him.
And his name?
Beric. A very trustworthy man. One more thing to mention. All of my crew are former pirates who have reformed their ways. Now we are but mere smugglers and sailing men.
Good to know. We appreciate the passage you've given us.
Wait, what?
And then I'll push Mortrick out the door.
I think the bard needs to keep his own spirits high at this point. Sounds like they're about to sink.
Mortrick, there was something you wanted to do before we left?
Yeah, so I want to do the same. I want to write a letter to Leia Padua.
Yep.
Under the same conditions I did the other lady, where if I can use an inspiration.
Yes. All right, tell me what you write.
And to her, I want to write a letter, if I can, like, you know, sometimes what you think the heart wants is just, you know, a candle that quickly splutters and burns out. And you realize the candle that would burn for the rest of your life and you keep you safe was
the shadowy candle
shadow
all
on a
along
wall the whole time. And that's the candle you need to be happy with.
Okay, all right. Make a performance check as you write this bullshit. You're trying to hook your main man Harris up. Let's see if it works.
Well, she was promised to him, right? So,
yes,
like,
but
the way I see
the whole thing is that she was going to be totally unfaithful and hang out with her new boyfriend.
Right, and so I want her to, like,
I know, I'm there with you.
Settle with this guy.
Yeah, of course. The thing that all people do is be happy and settle.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect.
She does not.
Writes again.
She throws your letter into the fire. Your bardic inspiration burns up like the hot wraps that you wish you could drop.
I look around for Hal.
But as soon as I post it, I think it worked beautifully.
I look around for Hal and our cart. Like, are we taking the cart?
Hal is confused. Hal was under the impression that he would be taking the young man and the young woman back to Pear Valley with him and settling down. Now, for some reason, the cart is being loaded onto the ship with Winslow. Hal is just like, am I still working for you? Am I not working for you?
Yeah, but like, sorry, Hal, didn't work out. Maybe next time.
There was
do you mind getting all this stuff stowed for us? Thanks.
But do I work for you still?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
In the future, you don't have to listen to him. Like,
all right.
All the time.
You come to us.
Quitting on us, Hal? Are you quitting? Have we not been good to you?
So you've paid him 15 silver pieces, and you will need to continue paying him 5 a day every time you reach a major location.
Yeah.
Do we know where we're headed?
You are headed east, southeast across the sea towards the narrow straits, and then you will arrive in the town of Havens, where you have heard that a particularly troublesome flute has been causing some magical problems.
Do I know that didn't you say something about there being a thieves guild in Haven?
There is a thieves guild in Haven.
Right, so I wanted to talk to the Godfather really quick and see if I could get, he said he could help us, and I wanted to get like an introduction to the thieves guild for Rik-Jaxx.
All right.
At least a note or something.
Okay. Yeah, you get a private meeting. You have to wait slightly longer this time because they're a little upset with you. But you do go in to see the father, and he says, "My son is healthy and moving again, and he's very upset. But if he saw you here, I would have problems, since he is under the assumption that you and your band of interlopers are members of the Padua, which means that you have done your job correctly, as I had ascertained.
I'm sorry for disturbing you, but there is one thing that I require before I leave. You said that you could help us in some way. I was wondering if you had any connections with the Thieves Guild in Haven.
The Thieves Guild in Haven is a hereditary organization that is closed to outsiders. However, they make exceptions for exceptional people. The captain of the Velocity Raven is one such person. When you arrive, he will give you introductions as needed.
I thank you. I realize we didn't handle that as you had intended, but...
The situation was messy, but not unacceptable. If my son was to marry that girl, it would be a terrifying problem for this town. Setting him on the right path so that he marries the Dockmaster's daughter is a much better solution for me.
I am glad that it was handled the way you wanted. And then I'll just try to leave and stealth out of there so that nobody sees.
He's got a secret exit for you to go out.
Perfect.
Yep.
Secret exit out.
As you're going out, Peacock offers you a half keg of whiskey.
Ooh. For the journey, I suppose. I thank you.
He doffs off his hat and then puts it back on.
I'll bow.
Okay. Make sure to write down your character sheet. You got a half keg.
When Runa gets back, I say to Runa, look, Runa, I got from that Minotaur, I still have 15 gold. You and I can split that, since these two fools cost us the rest of it, or we can keep it in the.
That's interesting that you think we've caused.
Did you not?
Successful. The mission was successful.
My plan worked. Rik-Jaxx is the only one that killed someone.
Yeah.
Where is this conversation taking place?
on board the ship.
On the boat, right?
Okay. All right. When you start talking about killing, the rest of the crew is moderately alarmed, but they let it happen because they're all former pirates. Just know that you've caught their attention.
We can split it this time, Kaz, but next time we're not bailing them out.
Well, I mean, or we could. I was going to say we can leave it in the pool for Hal, and then that's Hal's money that we hold until we can pay him.
I think Mortrick has enough money to pay Hal for the time being.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did grab that sack from a couple episodes ago with all that silver in it.
Okay. All right. So I guess.
Do we need to pay Hal since we're on the boat, or when we get to the next port?
When you reach the next port, you will need to pay him
15.
7 gold pieces for 14 days travel.
Okay.
If you all are ready, do you wish to speak with the quartermaster, or is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just as a side note, doesn't need to be a thing. Just in passing Runa one of these times as we hustle and bustle, I'm just going to give her one friendly punch and then you're like, I like the way you handle that. And then I'm just going to keep moving.
You were unconscious by the time she showed up.
Yeah, I know. All like talking to the captain and everything.
Okay, all right. All right. Runa, you've received some respect from your ancient blood rival.
Okay. Yeah. I go up to Barrack and say, I think we're ready.
All right. The quartermaster has a vaguely Franco demeanor to him. Sharp eyebrows, narrow face. He has a very fine floppy hat. And he says, "Gentlemen, I am Barrack de Tally. I will be your quartermaster for this journey. I am glad to make your acquaintance. You should know that I and all of the members of the crew are former pirates, reformed men, who now act as gentlemen of stature. We only occasionally smuggle various things in and out of Haven."
I say I've never met an honest trader, but I have met an honest smuggler.
Ah, such a thing is a saying among my people. And I have been warned that you are Kazador the White. They say that you are a shield knight of some renown in the tunnels, that you have slain many rats with the spear.
Rats and then some, sir.
I have several things to warn your party about. You will be sleeping on the lowest deck in the cargo hold. We do not have accommodations down there, but you may take the farthest cabins. There is space to separate for 2 different groups. Do not steal anything on this boat, or your hands will be chopped off. Do not cause trouble, or we will punch you in the face. And it is a long journey. People of different cultural values can have misunderstandings. But let me be perfectly clear. If you mess with Cynthia, we will simply make you disappear over the edge of the boat, and you will never be heard from again.
Don't worry. If they act up, I will be the one to punch them in the face.
Very well. Very well. If you simply play along with her, she believes that she is a dragon, or has some draconic power. It's very cute. I don't know if any of you are scholars or learned individuals, but we are trying to get her a education. So if you have any such book knowledge, you do not appear to be carrying very many books, but...
I do have some skill in cartography. I could perhaps teach her that.
That might be a little advanced for a 7-year-old, but I'll take it.
I can dumb it down for her.
Okay, very well. We'll provide you with a ship's compass as needed, and a timepiece, as I assume that your compass will be basically useless on board.
Yes, indeed.
Gentlemen, lady, allow me to welcome you to the Velocity Raven, then, on the next leg of your journey. And I believe that is where we will take our mid-term break here.
Yeah.
All right, short rest.
We got
We did
here.
some things.
There were some things.
There were things that happened.
Mortrick, Xanatos Gambits no longer apply to you, but Gambit Relay does apply to you. Continually throwing out schemes and changing them up to the whims of fate is the definition of Gambit Relay. So we'll be back in about 8 minutes. Please enjoy the break music and some break art, and then we'll be back to find out what happens on an aquatic adventure.